Welcome back to the fifth lecture in the series of lecture on version control systems. In the last lecture, we discussed about cloning repositories and local Git branching. We have experimented these topics. In this lecture, I will show you how to push changes in the local repository to the remote repository and also how to raise pull requests from remote repository. So our assumption for this lecture is that you have created local branches for your cloned repository, and you have a cloned repository from the remote repository, which is called Software Engineering 1. And now your terminal folder place or position or cursor position is inside that repository, which is Software Engineering 1. So you have made some changes to the README file of the second branch, which is above HR, and the main branch doesn't have any change since it's cloned to the local repository. So this is the context for this lecture. Right now, I will start showing you how to push your repository back to the remote repository, or how to push your local workspace to the remote repository. So the command you might use to push your repository back to the remote repository is git push -u. Origin is a symbolic link to refer back to the URL of your remote repository address, and the branch that you want to push back to the remote repository is above HR. Okay, so this is the syntax: git push -u, origin, and the branch name. So this will directly push the content that you have made and committed in the local branch, which is above HR, to a remote branch, a remote new branch inside the Software Engineering 1 repository, which is above HR. Okay, in the meantime, it might ask you for authentication, for password. You might have to enter the password for you to successfully push this new branch to the remote repository. Now let's go back to the remote repository and see what changes we have made so far. So if you see in the remote repository, it says, or it generated a notification that says above HR had recent pushes less than a minute ago. Okay, it also invites you to compare and raise pull requests so that it will be merged to the main branch. But for now, we will not do this. We will pass this one. So far, we just seen how to push back changes made in the local repository to the remote repository. Okay, now let's see how we can create pull requests. So basically, pull request means a request for the owner of a repository in the remote workspace to propagate or to synchronize your changes, the changes that you have made locally, to the main branch in the remote server. Okay, so in order to raise pull request or create pull request in the remote server, what you have to do is that you have to first work on your local repository and specifically on your branch. Then the changes made in your branch should be propagated locally to your own branch, and that branch should be pushed back to the remote repository. So look, if you check the types of or the number of branches in this remote repository, above HR will be added. This is due to the fact that we pushed a new branch of Software Engineering 1 repository from local workspace to the remote repository. So currently we are at the main branch in the remote repository. So we have to create pull request. That's the first thing. And some other guy, for instance, if there is another collaborator, that collaborator should be able to compare and merge your pull request if it doesn't have any conflict. Okay. So the procedures to create pull request is that you have to find a pull request button here. You can also use this one, but for the purpose of generalizability, I will use a statically placed buttons. So click on the pull request button here, and create or click on new pull request here. Okay, new pull request. So here you have to create the base and the target branch. Target branch is the branch that you want to merge. The base branch is where you will merge your target branch. So the main branch is going to be our base branch, okay, because it's the main branch. And I'm going to compare it with the branch I just added, which is above HR. So it says we are able to merge this one. This branch can be automatically merged. This is a good news for a software configuration manager and also for anyone working on management or investigation of pull requests. So in this case, we simply create the pull request by clicking on create pull request. Okay, so the title of the pull request could be anything. It might suggest you something, but you can also create your own. For instance, ours is readme changed. The title could be readme changed, and the description could be I just changed the title of readme. That would be enough for now. Okay. So for the pull request to be addressed efficiently and effectively, you may have to assign people. Even here, you may have to mention some collaborators so that they can see it, or they will be notified right after the creation of this pull request, or explicitly you can assign the collaborators here by using the assign compartment of the pull request. Okay, you can do details, you can see here with pull request. Then what you have to do is create pull request. So there are other options. We'll discuss about that in different lecture. So here we created a pull request. The name of the pull request or title of pull request is readme changed, and the description should show what is the intended purpose of the pull request. And here you see the number of the pull request, the ID of pull request here at the end of the URL. Okay. Okay, that being said about how to create pull requests using your GitHub platform, now let's see how to address requests or pull requests raised by other programmers. Assume this pull request, which is pull request 3, is, or the pull request which is entitled readme changed, is raised by another programmer. So here the responsibility of the project manager or version control manager is to check or to investigate this pull request and merge it back to the base branch, which in our case, which is main branch. So click on the pull request so that you can see the differences between the file you have at hand and the file which is sent to be merged to the main file. So here you might see the files, the changes that are made, the history of the commit and everything are written here. Okay. Here also you might declare specific rules for automatic merge of pull requests. Since this pull request doesn't have any conflict, you can simply merge this pull request directly. If not, you can also reject it by clicking on the drop down. So here, in order to merge, you might have to, write some message or some descriptive things so that it will justify your action. Okay, basically confirm merge, then now it will be merged. Okay, it says the branch is merged. So once you confirm the branch is merged, for instance, we can confirm whether the branch is merged or not by going back to the main branch and checking on the file under configuration. So the file under configuration were a readme file. So the changes that we have made under above HR are propagated to the main branch. So once you check this, you can simply delete your branch from local space, from local workspace, and also from this place. Okay, from this place. So I will show you how you can delete branches from your local workspace and also remote workspace in the next lecture.